What an amazing journey we're having ahead of us, right? So, first of all, we're going to want to welcome you to the founder stage by Google. Let's give applause. Your hosts for the couple of days today are going to be, for the first couple hours, are going to be Nick, CEO and co-founder of Vocal Image. Please welcome.
And Valeria, partnership manager at TechGirls and CEO and co-founder at Svoi.
Who of you have been to the Funda Drums yesterday? How was it for you? Please raise your hands. Did you enjoy it? We took a lot of time to create it. So, there was a day full of workshops, demo days, and networking meetups. We hope you enjoyed it a lot.
Get ready for 2 days of insightful content, 3 stages, pitch competitions, partners, side events, party, a lot of ways for you to enjoy and get the most out of TechGirls. AI, defense tech, cybersecurity, climate tech, startup hard skills, community involvement through Open Mic. Don't forget to set up your Umbrella account and network, and network.
Today on this stage, we're going to welcome 50 founders in 5 batches at the 50 Founders Battle. This year, we have a syndicate partnership with Bad Ideas Fund, as well as Depot Ventures, who have already selected 5 startups for the top 10, as well as the remaining 5 startups will be selected today in each of the batches. The format for this pitching today is going to be 3 minutes and the Q&A session for 2 minutes. So let's get ready for an epic ride.
But before to do that, let's start with the first panel, and we would like to invite moderator Anna Andersone, CEO of Tech Education Foundation, Riga TechGirls. And we will speak on the topic of root of prosperity and nurturing of success. Give your applause.
My mic? Oh yeah, okay. Hi, hello everyone. Good morning and welcome. So we talked this morning about this TechGirls focus. So TechGirls focus this year is more on the defense side and also on bringing everyone together as every year. So we're starting this stage with a discussion with some of the role models of the people who are giving back to the community and who are supporting Ukraine. So I will invite to the stage fellow discussion members. So first, let's have Ervins Greenfelds, CEO, co-founder of TestDev Lab. Hi, Ervins. Join us here. James Berdigans. Welcome to the stage. Already mentioned today, Executive Chairman Printify. Hey, James. I think I'll take this chair. Yeah, so where there's a mic. And last but not least, Raimons Simonovskis, founder and CEO of EasyBI. Welcome, Raimons. So, right, most of us already know that you are successful entrepreneurs building amazing companies that are successful worldwide from here, from Latvia. I'm quite sure that the audience here might be interested in what were the main milestones for you becoming these leaders, becoming these, building your great businesses from Latvia. Who wants to go first?
I can go.
Yeah, Ervins, go.
So quick introduction for those who don't know me. I'm Ervins. I'm founder and co-CEO of company TestDev Lab. We are a company providing quality assurance services, products, as well as different innovative laboratories. But to put it simple, we help to find software bugs and help to prevent them from happening. And we do it so well that companies like Microsoft, Zoom, Pinterest, Amazon, Twilio, and many others are working with us together. But yeah, and other kind of facts, we are more than 500 people in 5 countries: Latvia, Estonia, Lithuania, North Macedonia, and Spain. But vast majority of our people are here in Latvia. And yeah, thanks, Anna, for inviting to the event and answering your questions about milestones. I would say the very first milestone, at least for me, was a feeling that we are ready to start a business. And that feeling To get that feeling, it took 10 years for me. And those 10 years were mostly for myself, living in Estonia, working for Skype, and actually getting industry knowledge, working in quality assurance, working in different engineering roles, leadership roles, get to know people, understand how companies work, get and build strong contact base, and only after 10 years, I felt that we are ready to start a company. Second milestone, of course, funding a company itself, probably the most easiest milestone. In Latvia, it's very easy to fund a company, just kind of a couple of papers, and and you get your company registered. So that's simple. I think every year in Latvia there's 10,000 companies being registered. But the next milestone, of course, is the most important one, I guess, for any company, including us, how to get first paying customers who are ready to pay for your services or products. And for us, it took probably a year to get first paying customers. And once again, we got first customers, which actually were Orange operator and Twilio, just because of our connections from Skype time. And once we got already first customers, we got a revenue stream coming in our company, and that gave us ability to start growth, to invest in people, to invest in marketing, and rest is history. Thank you. That's the answer.
All right, thank you, Erwin. James, you want to go next? Yeah.
Hi everyone. So a bit about me. I'm James Berdigans, founder of Printify. 700 plus people team, profitable, continuing to grow quickly, and I think success comes from really, really hard work. It's thanks to very smart Latvian people. Well, half of the team is Latvian, half is outside Latvia, and I think growth can slow down quickly, so it's always important to find new ideas, new innovation, to be able to maintain that fast growth speed. And it really comes from being creative, working really, really hard, so that you can bring that win home every week. Hard work and perseverance is what makes a great company.
Thank you, James. Okay. Raimonds.
Yeah, so I was introduced. I'm Raimonds Smenovskis, CEO of EasyBI. So EasyBI is a business intelligence app for doing reports, charts, dashboards, and we are most popular on Atlassian marketplace and integrate with Atlassian products. And I started EasyBI 13 years ago, but my tech journey was previously already long before that. So initially I worked in IT department in a bank, and then for 15 years I worked in a IT services company, and only then, already at the age of 38, so I decided that I want to create my own product company. And initially, so it took about 2 years while I was working alone, but so I wanted to prove that you can found a company from Latvia with a small team and do international business. And so currently, so probably the first milestone was after some 2 years when I started to grow additionally my team, but then stayed with the same principles that we want to be a company from Latvia and do business fully remotely. And now we are still fully remote company and doing very profitable multi-million business in all the world.
Awesome. Thank you guys for sharing that. Yeah, a round of applause, right? To these journeys. So my second question is, you are obviously all role models for us to look up to on being pillars of developing the ecosystem. So we are here to develop the ecosystem. Maybe you can share from your point of view, so how can successful founders, whom there are quite some in the audience as well here today, how can they become pillars of building the ecosystem, and how do you define giving back to the ecosystem? James, you want to go first?
Well, I think giving back by default means just investing. So take some amount of your success and invest it back in the community. What I did personally was that there is a 5% pledge that you a foundation, quite popular I think in Estonia, that you pledge some percentage of your wealth to donate back. And instead of donating it to a bigger organization where I'm not sure where that proceeds would go to, what I decided is to create my own foundation called Berdigans Foundation with Love to Latvia, and where I put 5% of my equity, and that will be a vehicle to invest in different good initiatives for the society. And my focus area is primarily investing in startups and education, because that's where I believe we can make the biggest impact to help Latvia become more prosperous and wealthy nation. So the first project that we are realizing is the startup house. Super happy to see that only after 2 months the startup house is almost full. As Andres mentioned, there are still some spaces available, so apply. Also great that as part of that, multiple founders joined that initiative, and we created Founders to Founders initiative, where successful founders are giving back to the community. And really happy that multiple people have joined that initiative, and I'm inviting more founders to join that initiative. As an example of that, because of the Founders to Founders initiative, the cost to be at Startup House for startup is only 50 euros. So if you are a startup, probably you will spend more money spending your time in a coffee shop for the coffee than being in a startup house where you're surrounded by venture capitalists, different workshops, initiatives, and so on. Next initiative is related to education. There will be a big announcement tomorrow by Anna, so very excited about that. So.
Yep. Yeah. Tomorrow, 3:20 on the Muse stage. Come to the news. This is a small ad break, but then we can move forward. So, Erwin, do you want to go next on sharing your point of view?
Yeah, sure. So my first advice would be that initially companies should prioritize their business first, because of course if they don't get it right, there is no giving back to community. So probably it will typically takes a couple of years also for us to actually get a good revenue stream, to build strong team of engineers, leadership, to get a diverse portfolio of customers. So that's the first one. Once you get that in order, then you could start, like activities and giving back to community. But second, I think very important factor is that founders should have a mindset that company is not about growth and profitability. So that's super important. Many companies don't have that. So that's the second one. And the third one, I think when it comes to giving back to community, every company should have some kind of a strategy, or they need to figure out what is the area where they want to give back to community. Let's say for us, for example, it's also education, one of the most important aspects, and many of our activities in terms of giving back to community are around learning and education, which we can cover later.
Mm-hmm. Thanks. Raimons, yeah.
So when I'm thinking about community, so I think it about a little bit wider area, as when I think about the critical factors for my success, why I was able to build such business. So the first would be also education. So I still, even in the old Soviet times, I still got very good education in mathematics. I had very good teachers, and later also in the university. And the second is that we are living in a democratic, free country, which is part of EU and NATO, and we can do international business. So when I was young, so still in the Soviet times, so it wasn't imaginable that I could build that. And therefore, when thinking about giving back to the community, so these are some of the areas, so when we were already successful, how we can give it back. And one regarding education. So one is we have been supporting Start IT Foundation, and as well as we are giving our time to that. For example, helping teachers in school to learn how to teach programming to children in school. And many of our my colleagues were doing mentorship to teachers, or many are now going back to schools and telling these young students in the high school so that about our profession and encouraging them to do that. But also about thinking about the democratic and free country. So we have been also supporting already a long time ago different NGOs in anti-corruption area or in public transparency or social inclusion. Because unfortunately we see in our neighboring countries of Russia and Belarus, so what happens when you ignore that and then after sometimes you get the dictatorship taking over, and so we need to think about that as well. And even in the very early years when I still didn't have much profit, so I participated in different hackathons together with NGOs and journalists. So we had a good product, so which we could help analyze some data and provide it back. And so even if you can't yet support financially yet something, so probably your product can be supporting that. And now, of course, so we are, when Russia started the full-scale invasion in Ukraine, so that felt very painful for us, as unfortunately they are much less happy and fortunate as we are, and now we are one of the largest donators to our Entrepreneurs for Peace Foundation, which regularly supports Ukraine militarily and in other areas as well. So think about so what you can and what kind of pledge you can make, as we have made, that you can support both financially as well as you can encourage and allow your colleagues, your employees to spend time on these activities, as this gives them also a bigger purpose and your vision, so that they are not just working for money for founders, but they are also giving everyone back to the wider community.
Thank you. So what I can kind of summarize here is that, so one way is education, so supporting different initiatives in education that all of you are working on, supporting democracy, so building democracy here in Latvia, but also supporting it in our neighboring countries so that we are part of a democratic society. And of course giving back to entrepreneurs, so supporting young entrepreneurs through Startup House or through other activities, how we can support more people gaining insights, learning, and then building our country to be a better place. So these are amazing initiatives that are doing. Maybe you can share some memories on what have been the most memorable, most impactful your experiences when supporting and giving back to the community.
I think an important part of giving to something is not to expect anything in return, and the feeling of being able to help somebody else. Like, for example, for my birthday, we organized a convoy to Ukraine, and just the knowledge that you can help somebody who is in more need than you are is the biggest inner gratitude that you can get.
Thanks. Yeah, that was very inspiring. I think the TechGirls organized convoy is also inspired by this event that you organized. Thanks so much, Jens. Anyways.
Yep, I will give two examples. One example is that emotionally I liked best. That was back in 2020 when Latvia had state of emergency. It was COVID pandemic, and I remember that there was a shortage of web cameras, and hospitals really kind of looked how they can get typical web cameras so they can remotely have communication with patients. And it was not about money. They were just not possible to buy those cameras at all. And I remember in company we started to do inventory. We found that we have something like a couple of hundred of those cameras. We decided to donate them to hospital, but it was what I liked most about that many of our employees, they noticed that activity, and all of them had also at home some kind of old web cameras. Everybody kind of took them out, and we made kind of nice donations. So that was maybe not most impactful, but I liked that, like from a sense of really having not only company leadership, but all employees have a common cause where they want to help. Probably next example about more impactful to local community is again about education. So as a company, Tesla Lab, a couple of years ago, we founded a daughter company called TDL School, which is educational company, essentially companies that provides different IT courses, online or physical ones. And in 3 years, we actually kind of looked at the numbers. We organized more than 400 courses and more than 3,000 people have participated. So not maybe yet huge numbers, but I believe that already made some impact already to community as a whole.
Thank you, Iris. Those are good numbers for Latvia for sure. Raimons, can you share your memory?
Some memories are that sometimes when we support some NGOs and even then we donate not so big amounts for us, but then quite often it's quite big for them. And then sometimes when, especially when some legislation changed regarding how you can support them, and then in some year no one was doing any more this support of them, but as we still continue to do that, and they were really grateful that they can continue their projects in that area. But the other area, what I already mentioned, that we are now encouraging, and several of my colleagues are going either as mentors to teachers or going to schools. And so there I see how they enjoy that. For example, when they go to the school and give a lecture, and when they see that these young people are really listening and interested in them, and so they say that, well, at their time, yeah, so we wouldn't behave so good, yeah, during such lecture, and yeah, so I enjoy that they are enjoying doing that and seeing results, and as a result, becoming also better presenters, and there are some other good side effects out of that.
All right. So what I gather here is that so it's possible to support financially, and that is obviously very important, but the most important feeling is what you get when you get personally involved. That's kind of this vibe that I'm feeling here. And personally involved, we can get also in the stage when we don't have, maybe millions in our account. And just hearing your stories, I also remembered how Entrepreneurs for Peace started back in 2022 when just a couple of entrepreneurs got on WhatsApp and got together and decided to support Ukraine from the very first days of the war. And the first thing that we shipped actually was not money, it was just devices for medical use. So and for myself, being in NGO side, from that side, as Riga TechGirls, we took part in this, and we became the first place where money can be donated and where we can support Ukraine through that. So we can come in very different ways. We can be financially supporting, personally supporting, involving through different social activities. So there are a lot of opportunities here, guys. And what would be your advice to the aspiring young entrepreneurs here, how they can best, support the community and give back, how they should pave their path to being where you are now as role models for them? James.
If you are a young aspiring entrepreneur in the early of your journey, don't waste your time on this. Build your company, become successful, and then spend some portion of your time doing good for others. And I hope that by trying to help you, we will make some positive impact in your journeys to make it a little bit easier for you. It's still going to be very hard, but hopefully a bit easier than without the support. And that you will appreciate that good intention that we are trying to do, and you will give back to the next generation of entrepreneurs, and so therefore keep the cycle going and help Latvia become a more prosperous country.
Thank you, James. Raimons, you want to go next? Yeah.
I would probably agree that initially, so you need to focus to become the best in the world in your area and work with your customers and partners. But then speaking about the community, so I have also, so this is not the only community. So find a community in your area. For example, in our case, we have also the Atlassian partners community, Atlassian marketplace partner community, which is very helpful and sharing the knowledge. And so from the very beginning, so I was involved there and sharing with others how we do things and maybe find some solutions and how we work with Atlassian and things like that. So definitely find your community, but which does similar things, and find where you are kind of doing cooperation, sometimes maybe competition, but even if you are sometimes competing, you can find the ways where you can cooperate. So definitely find the communities in your business area and be active part of it.
Ervins.
Yeah, from my perspective, I'll also kind of repeat a bit myself, but first advice is definitely, once again, to get your business, like in shape, in order. But what I would like to say, even before company is ready to give back to community, either financially or with some resources, definitely use your time to network, to build connections, to go to events like that, and essentially just to kind of meet people. It will help definitely in future of your business.
Mm-hmm. So I feel like you are touching upon it already. So how important are collaborations and mentorship in building this supportive ecosystem that can help others grow as well? Ervins, you want to continue?
Yeah, I can probably give Skype example, as I used to work at Skype, and probably our company wouldn't be funded at all if they weren't for Skype. But I will use that kind of Skype example because the so-called like Skype mafia, probably many people have heard about it, but it means that there is kind of trusted network with ex-Skype employees who are helping each other, helping in terms of mentorship, advices, or doing together some kind of business activities, or just kind of referring to some new contacts. It's like a trusted circle of network, and that have helped us significantly, and that also made me to realize how important are those networks of people, companies. So answering to your question, it has significant impact and importance.
Thank you, Ervins. Do you want to comment, Raimond?
Yeah, when thinking about the mentorship and collaboration, so sometimes, yeah, it's good to use advice, but sometimes you should be aware that maybe not all advice you should follow and from who you take this advice. And it's better to find similar companies at your level that is good to listen to, as probably you should not listen to the what Googles and Facebooks and Skype were doing, because so you are not at that scale. Not always you should listen to investors' advice, because so they are interested so that you maybe grow super fast and maybe 1 of 10 of their investments will give back, but that's probably not always in your interest. So better listen to the advice, similar kind of companies which have done something. And in my case, so, I listen a lot and, to the advice from the company 37 Signals, which have made also doing podcasts, did several books about it, like Rework and others. They were similar size and doing similar things, and then just try things out and see whether it will work and not work, as sometimes we can also get so many advice and then we are not sure what should we try to do. Well, start with some small advice and appropriate to your scale.
Mm-hmm. James, do you want to add anything?
I think it's good. It was covered.
Okay. So we've come to the end of our discussion, and I want to finish up with the last question about what are you currently aspiring to? What are the next steps? What are the things that you're working on right now in building this more supportive ecosystem and giving back to the community?
I can probably start. So what we see this year is that more and more physical events are happening. More people are coming to those events, more people are applying to those events. I don't know what happened, but we see a shift, especially this year. And from our Tesla perspective, we have 6 regional offices here in Latvia, like Liepāja, Ventspils, Jelgava, Valmiera, Daugavpils, and of course here in Riga. And in all those offices, we have nice modern office spaces. And what we want to do, we definitely want to use those office spaces to organize different local meetups, training activities, anything else that can help local communities also to grow in the region. So that definitely will be one of our focus this year. And probably, of course, continuing TDL school, learning, educational activities, probably even doubling down in that activity. So that's from my side.
Yeah, thank you. I want to thank you personally as well for supporting Riga TechGirls with your space for the opening event and furthermore. Yeah, thank you so much.
Welcome.
Yeah, all right. Raymond, so you want to go next?
So yeah, we will continue what we have been doing so far, but now we have some new also projects. So we are also sponsoring Tech Girls regarding the new some mentorship program, and we'll see so how it will work out as that what we have been doing currently and have some experience how to do the mentorship for both in the educational area as well as internally the company, and so we would like to share this knowledge and see how it will go on. But several things will continue as was before, so like we'll continue to support Ukraine until their victory, and so it will be a long road, but we'll help that so they will win.
Yes, thank you, Raymond. So I want to say that the newest addition to Entrepreneurs for Peace Fund is very appreciated as well from your side. So thank you to the whole EasyBI team as well. Thank you so much. And James, what are your aspirations?
My aspiration and vision is to see Latvia as one of the top 10 wealthiest countries in the world, with among countries like Switzerland, Norway, Ireland, and many more. And the important thing is that you people in this room and in this building are probably the ones that can and will make the biggest impact to achieve it. I estimate that we can achieve it in about 20 to 25 years if we invest the effort and we help each other. And I would like to use this opportunity to invite more people to join Founders to Founders initiative, and I would like to thank those who already have put in their money in this Founders initiative, and I would like to name them in order of their contribution. So firstly, Edward Zolotuchins, Christoph Blaus, Gravity team guys, Chris Martins and Edgars, Arnis Ozols, Rolands Mesters, and Roberts Bernans. Thank you already for your contribution, and I invite more people to join the Founders to Founders initiative so we can give back to the next generation of founders, help them succeed, and help Latvia to prosper. Thank you.
Thank you so much. All right. So we've come to the end of the discussion and our time. I hope that these stories inspired everyone to think more on how you each can also give back to the community and support Ukraine, your local community, maybe another community that you can be part of. Enjoy the event and see you around. Thank you.
Thank you.